that what we're talking about here is more of a cosmic force. It can't be explained. Now, it was said in a college class I had one year, a black guy by the name of Dr. Latta Thomas used to teach at Benedict College, and he was a preacher. If there's anything profound that the preachers ever said, this is one that was the most profound thing, where he had mentioned that he had some friends, and he had some friends that was talking about, well, you know, a lot of things that they don't believe in, a lot of things that's not scientific, things that they can't see, things that they can't feel. And so they was getting on him about the concept of spirituality and spirit. And in order for him to win the argument, he said, well, how do you explain love? What is this thing? And he won the argument because both of the guys who was arguing with him had been in love before. And they knew right then and there that he was talking about something that you couldn't feel, something, well, let's put it, something that you couldn't touch. I want to put it that way because you damn sure feel it. But something you couldn't see, some invisible force. You see, that is the basis of spirituality. In that particular case, you don't need the deity that you worship as the litmus test of whether you are in something spiritual. When you see Christ, quote unquote, the picture of the Jesus Christ, and you see the heart chakra, and you see him holding this heart, the only thing there is the heart. The man or the person is just a figure or an image to give to you so that you can better understand it, but too often we get lost in the figure and the male image other than what is this thing truly talking about? And how does it represent me if you are a woman and you got this male image? Well, he has the heart, and he's holding the heart. It is not that white Jesus Christ you see, definitely. It is the heart, which transcends the figure that you see, which is a later figure, because we can go back to ancient Kemet, ancient Egypt, where the basis of the judgment scene in Egypt is the weighing of the heart. So we're still talking about the heart chakra, the mysteries of Osiris, the mysteries of Dionysus, the mysteries of Bacchus, the mysteries of Phanes, the mysteries of Shiva. And we'll go into some of that particular aspects as we go on. But for the first time in history, 2,000 years ago, which no matter how great the Christians claim, Jesus is loved. Jesus comes as a debauchery because Jesus comes in the motif of the Roman government, devoid of the penis, the phallus. Damn. And that is the difference between the ancient Christ, Osiris, Osar, Bacchus, Phanes, Dionysus, Shiva. And these gods came with the phallus, the god Mem. And the debauchery is the phallus not being there means that you cannot identify it with your own self, both male and female, because the male can say, well, hell, I got a vagina so I can identify with that penis. You see. But you can't identify with it in your own human experience, and yet love is where this particular, the human body and the human experiences is the origin of where this love is going to actually seed and grow and fester and manifest. You see what I'm saying? So you got the heart, but you don't have the penis. Now there's different levels, but we understand the heart being this divine aspect, and it can be separated from sex. But you cannot omit the phallus, the vagina, the vesicle, the lingam, and the yoni. So the best one kept intact would be the mysteries of Shiva. The mysteries of Shiva and Pravati, or Shiva and Shakti in India, because you get the lessons of the phallus, which is the lingam, and the vagina, which is the yoni. So there's several books. Ecstasy Through Tantra by Dr. John Mumford. Tantra, The Cult of the Feminine by Andre van Lijsbeth. Sexual Alchemy, Donald Tyson. Tantra, The Way of Action by Francis King. Putting this thing back to the human level, when Dr. Ben used to say that the latter gods, the Hebrew, Judeo, Christian, and Islamic gods, become unattached, or detached from man, unapproachable. You see, unapproachable. So therefore, this mystical aspect of love is lost because it is not manifested on the physical on one particular aspect, and it's not connected to us. So this particular love that we give to Jesus Christ is unapproachable. Whereas this love is not talking about some man out in space, some spook god. It's talking about the heart chakra. And that's what we'll be dealing with also. So this particular person becomes without the phallus. It comes without the divine aspect of the male organ, since we're talking about this male Christ. Right. But we can't separate this thing here, because we can't separate this from the female aspect, because we also know that the female aspect is also has a lot to do with the Virgin Mary, which is nothing but the ultimate Osset or Isis mysteries. The whole book, Isis in the Greco-Roman World. Here's a new book that will explain a lot of that. It's called Isis Magic, by this word, Isidora Forrest. Isidora Forrest. Cultivating the relationship of the goddess of 10,000 names. Ultimately, a lot of our female mistress of Sophia, the female mistress of Mary, the female mistress of the Holy Shekinah in the Kabbalistic mysteries, is coming from the Osset mysteries, which her temple, the temple of Philae, ironically was the last temple to close in Kemet. Wow. And after it closed, Europe went into a dark age. But before it closed, they took 100 years to translate from Metanetta into Coptic, Hebrew, Greek, Latin, Aramaic, Islam, as far as Arabic.